All right, guys, we're gonna get into this clip where RFK Jr. essentially admits, like, yeah, I've been on Epstein's island twice. You know, I've been on the plane twice, and it begs the question, like, and I was thinking about this, like, who wasn't on this guy's plane? Like, literally, who wasn't on this guy's jet from the Trump administration? At least it seems like everybody, you know, took their little trip there, so they probably have dirt on a whole lot of people, guys, and you know, RFK Jr. is one of those guys which, you know, I wanted him to win. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I was voting for him. And he just tells it like it is. That's what I like about RFK Jr. And he seems like an honest guy. Now, last week you reported on him. He actually admitted to the public that Trump took $100 million from Big Pharma, which was a big eye-opener there. You know, because people were like, why can't we negotiate these drug prices? What's going on with, you know, I thought Trump was going to get in and handle that. He was going to, because, you know, he did the whole Doge thing with Vivek and all these other guys. Yeah, we're going to go and attack Big Pharma. And why can't we negotiate the drug prices? And then we find out, like, oh, he took $100 million from Big Pharma. Oh, geez. Okay, there you go. So he's taking money from all these people. He's making all these promises. And this guy, I don't know who he hasn't taken money from. I'm going to be honest with you guys. That's like the eye opener there. It's like, who the hell hasn't he taken money from? Bribes from Qatar, from Israel, from Adelson, from Big Pharma, from who knows who. You know, I mean, the guy's like. So, let's get into this clip, man. Let's get into RFK Jr.
You weren't ever on Jeffrey Epstein's jet, were you?
Oh,
I was on Jeffrey Epstein's jet 2 times. I was on it in 1993. And I was on it and I went to Florida with my wife and 2 children to visit my mom over Easter. My wife had some kind of relationship with Ghislaine Maxwell, and they offered us a ride to Palm Beach. So I went then, and on another occasion, I flew again with my family, with I think 4 of my children, and Mary, my wife, to Rapid City, South Dakota, to go fossil hunting for a weekend. And but otherwise, I was never on his jet alone. I've been very open about this from the beginning. This was in '93, so it was 30 years ago. It was before anybody knew about Jeffrey Epstein's, his nefarious issues, and I agree with you that all of this information should be released, and we should get real answers on what happened to Jeffrey Epstein and any of the high-level political people that he was involved with. All of that should be open to the public. It should be absolutely transparent. And, I don't see why any of those records would have any redactions in them. Why would we be hiding that from the American public?
Well, you might not.
Man, I thought we could at least have, well, I guess RFK Jr. was on there. So, yeah, I mean, it begs the question, like, who wasn't on that? Who wasn't on those files? I mean, on that plane from the Trump administration. I mean, RFK Jr. was on there. Trump was on there. I mean, wow, what a huge scandal. I mean, this could be bad for a whole lot of people, man. And so, the MAGA Trumpsters, they went out hard on Turning Point of USA. Everybody's on there. They're all pissed off. They're like, oh, you promised us you're going to release this and that, and you're going to do us a service. And now it seems like you're caping for the elite pedos, and you have Cash Patel and Bongino saying, we're done, we're out. If you don't take Pam Bondi out, we are going to resign. And so we talked about how Tucker Carlson literally said it. He's like, hey, man, the Epstein files were to cover where it was a whole Mossad operation to blackmail our politicians. Right, so he called him out by name, not like Alex Jones sitting there crying like a pathetic dweeb, and blaming the left somehow. It's like, oh, it was the left, it was the liberals, So at least we have some honest people here, man. Let's get into what Megyn Kelly had to say, because this she went in too. Megyn Kelly went in too. Let's get into it.
Nothing's going on. Has anyone been on X in the past Hour?
They're happy. That's why you know they haven't
That's right.
been on social media.
We'll update you.
Why don't you update them, Megyn?
Well, this is the first big scandal, I'd say, of the Trump administration that's on Team Rational. It's not a fake media scandal like the left tries to create for President Trump every other day. It's one of the right's own making, and it's not going well. And it has to do with Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah. Let me just ask you, make some noise if you care about the Jeffrey Epstein scandal.
Raise your hand if it matters a lot to you. Raise your hand. So every hand of 7,000 people.
Everybody cares.
A lot. I said a lot. Every hand.
Here's what I think is happening. I don't think President Trump is focused on this. He's focused on a lot of other things which are going great, and he needs to be focused on those other things. Jeffrey Epstein's not the most important thing on his agenda by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, he's crushing it on the tariffs, foreign policy, just got nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. If not Trump, then who? Honestly. Barack Obama got the Nobel Peace Prize after 9 months in office. He had done nothing. He gave a nice speech about Muslims, and they gave it to him. So President Trump should be getting the Nobel Peace Prize, and there's all sorts of things he's focused on. I just don't think this has captured his attention quite yet.
But President Trump should get the Nobel Peace Prize. Yeah, big joke. I can't believe these people are so talented. There's like, you know, the guy essentially he just involved himself in a war in the Middle East. You know, he attacked a sovereign nation's peaceful nuclear program. You know, illegally because they have the right to enrich, right? At least up to 3.67%, and so, which potentially could have been a serious situation. It could have been a disaster if they responded more forcefully. Then you would have had a possible World War III there scenario. So I don't know how this guy gets the Nobel Peace Prize.
Too, because it's starting to create a real hornet's nest within the administration. And I've got to be honest, I blame Pam Bondi. I'll tell you why. Okay. I have nothing, yes, incompetence, yes. I have nothing against Pam Bondi as a human being. I was fine with her nomination and her confirmation, and she's been loyal to the president, and I get that President Trump needs a loyal attorney general. Look what happened with Sessions the first time. He went away, and then the next thing you know, we had the Mueller investigation, and it was a nightmare. But there are a lot of other people who can be loyal and competent in that job. Here, she is the reason that things are unraveling around this story right now that virtually all of the Republican Party cares deeply about. It's also true that Dan Bongino and Kash Patel had questions about Epstein before they took office, okay, before they went into the FBI. But once they joined the FBI, they said nothing. They've kept their mouths shut about Epstein. You have not seen them, except for one joint appearance with Dan and Kash on Fox, running all over the media looking for attention on this, yes, clickbaity story. Who have you seen? Pam Bondi. She has never missed an opportunity to go on television and dangle sweet nothings that might be coming your way. Try to lead you to believe that she's got it, it's on her desk, it's coming tomorrow, you're going to see something on Epstein. And it was a tease. So you either believe that Pam Bondi was telling the truth then, or that she's telling the truth now. But both cannot be true. She was either lying when she went on Fox News all those times saying, I've got it, we're looking at it, wait until you see it, it's horrible. Or she's lying in her 2-page memo that they released on a Sunday night at the tail end of a holiday weekend to Axios, as if Axios is where we all go for our news. Hell no. She went to someone she knew would not kick the tires on the story, and without signing the memo, dropped it in the dead of night and said, that's it, take the crumbs and be happy. Refused to come out and give a presser. Come out and give a press conference. Stand there for 6 hours to the point where people are dying of boredom. They've asked all their questions. That's how you put a scandal to rest. But she wouldn't even sign her name to it. And I'm telling you, I have dollars to donuts. It's going to come out that there was internal consternation over that memo and whose name did and did not go on it and who was and was not behind it. And so now you have a situation where her words on the record on Fox News are diametrically opposed to what she put in this memo. She's embarrassed the president. She's embarrassed herself. And Dan and Kash, to the extent they've had to sign off on that, let's understand the FBI is controlled by the DOJ. FBI is subservient to DOJ. She's their boss. That they're in this position where the only comments they've made on the record as administration officials have been We don't think he killed himself, and we don't think he got murdered. We think he did kill himself. We've looked at the tapes, and Cash to Joe Rogan saying, if I saw all these tapes of Jeffrey Epstein with little girls, trust me, I would show you. But I haven't seen it. Okay, so what they're saying now is consistent with what they've said since they joined the office, and that is one of the many reasons why this scandal is squarely on her. And I'm telling you, I'm of the cable news universe. I've seen it happen a million times. People get thirsty. They love to see themselves on television. They love to see their names in the Klieg lights. They love the attention. They love the little emails and texts and tweets and thumbs up they get after their appearance, and they can feel their star rising. And listen, internally, I'm told there's a bit of like a power struggle between Pam Bondi and another female administration official on who's going to be the top dog. You know, we've got a great bench behind President Trump. We've got JD. We've got Marco. You know, we've got Hegseth. We've got a lot of people who could potentially be next up. But there are some women who've got their eye on that role too. And I've been...
Yeah, man. It's not just like they want to pinpoint it on Pam Bondi. And to be honest with you guys, she's more than likely taking instructions from, the big dog, the big DT, man. Donald Trump, right? He doesn't want to release it either. Okay, and for reasons we don't know why. They're trying to like attach themselves to this Pam, like, oh, Pam Bondi. Once you take Pam Bondi out, that's gonna solve everything. Like, nah, because Bongino and Kash Patel buried it under the hatchet as well. They were like, nah, yeah, man, it was suicide. Remember Don Bongino? He looked Joe Rogan in the eye and he's like, "There's no other way around it." What did he say? He was all serious with it. He's like, it's more than definitely a suicide. Yeah. So it's not just her, getting her out the way is not going to solve the actual issue, and that's the DOJ and the FBI aren't going to release it because it's going to, rattle some feathers, and it's going to expose our greatest ally, along with possibly Trump. We don't know what Trump's involvement with this whole thing is because some people are now making allegations like Jeffrey Epstein's brother went on Piers and said, Trump could have ordered the hit, because they're the left or whoever might have used that to get him out the way or impeach him or whatever. So, again, man, interesting turn of events. I'm glad, MAGA's not. One thing I can say is, like, I'm glad MAGA's not letting this one go because their whole thing was, because you saw Trump's reaction to the reporter that asked him, "Hey, what's going on with the Epstein files, man? You told us you're going to release them and all that." And he's like, "Wait, are you guys still talking about this sick freak?" So their whole motive is like, eventually the American public and MAGA and all these people are going to forget about this. We have a whole bunch of other important situations that we're dealing with, and that the MAGA base and Americans in general are just going to be like, okay, whatever, let's just like move on, right? And people are like, no, we're not moving on, dude. You're caping for pedophiles, okay? There are people who believe in God and have, a moral standard, and they're like, I don't want a president that's over here defending pedophiles. I don't care if you're fucking saving the country or whatever, or quote unquote saving the country, dude, we're not, we have a moral high ground here. We're not gonna sit here and be like, oh yeah, it's cool, man, like a bunch of children got raped, and some of them are serving, in the U.S. government. There's some politicians that, but it's okay. Like, let's just bury that under the hatch and let it go. I'm telling you guys, the American public's not letting go of this whole thing. So, and I'm glad. It should be all gas, no brakes. Keep going at their asses until, he has to do something. He has to release something, or he has to make a statement, or at least tell us, like, hey, look, man, I'm going to be honest with you guys. We read the statements. There's a lot of people on there, and it's in our best interest not to reveal it. At least say something, but don't sit here and be like, are you guys still talking about this? There's no list. That's the whole disrespect. It's like, We know there's a list. Tell us, at least be truthful and be like, we don't want to release this because a lot of people are going to get fucked, including myself, right? You know, from Donald Trump's point of view. You know, so. All right, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.